What's good? What's good? Crosswalk, episode 57. I didn't even mention this to you before we even talked about it. But episode 57, pretty solid weekend, but we leading into some really, really big weekends. But before we jump into it, man, how's it going, bro?
Man, it's good. I can't complain. It's the last weekend without college football. So, man, it's that time of the year. The
Yeah.
pigskin gets flying, man. I'm excited for it. Looking forward getting into today's show because I know the chat is going to be humming today with this one. But I'm looking forward to it, man. What about you?
Grimy, already talking, bro. He already talking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about this weekend and football being back in our lives. But episode 57, man, we're getting up there. Do you have a number 50? You have a number 57. I know which one you're going to, too.
I have a number 57, and I think you know which way I'm going, but I might change it up on you. So my number 57, there is a guy that, like I played with, but I'm actually going a little different route. This guy is a guy I actually got to play against, and it's Johan Santana. Grimy hit it in the chat. I got a chance to face him, got an at-bat off of Johan Santana. When I tell you, brother, the changeup is unreal. Best changeup I've ever seen, and it's legit, bro. Like, he would throw it, and it would get to the plate, and it looked like he had it on a string, and he could just pull it, man. And I think one 2-time Cy Young winner. But yeah, Johan Santana for me. What about you?
So my number 57 is interesting. I saw this dude played. So the first professional football game that I ever went to, and of course this is dating me, but I don't care, is in 1990, I went to go see the Cowboys versus the Saints. And I sat way, way, way at the top of Texas Stadium. And it was right after the Cowboys traded Steve Walsh, who I thought that they should have gone with him instead of Troy Aikman, but it shows I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I was only 10. And anyway, a person that was on the field that was doing some damage was Ricky Jackson, number 57. And of course, his last name's Jackson, so that stood out to me. And I always remembered him. I always followed his career. So Ricky Jackson, my number 57.
Cool. I like it.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff happened this weekend, man. A lot of stuff. The UFC went to Sacramento. I don't even know. Do you know what fight night number that one was? It's like
I don't know. Like I just do the city. It's like a way easier way for me to do it.
Because it's weird. Because it's like you got the city, and then when they go back to the Apex, then we got the numbers again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a weird setup.
Yeah.
But of course, the main event did not disappoint, in my opinion. Gregory Rodrigues got it done, which I thought was going to happen against Fluffy Hernandez, and a really, really hard fought, but really entertaining fight. But who was your MVP of the card?
Man, just piggybacking off what you just said in the main event, man. Gregory Robocop Rodrigues, my MVP of the card. His biggest win so far, got a performance bonus, got a $100,000 performance bonus for it. Pretty much just systematically picked apart Fluffy, started with the low kicks in the first round, started invested in a body shot. So you just could see the game plan right there. Mm-hmm. Fluffy tried to get the wrestling going, but man, shout out to Robocop, man. He defended pretty much all the takedowns. I'm pretty sure he defended like all of them. I can't really remember, but he defended a lot of takedowns, kept it on the feet. And man, just the leg kick just added up. And he even dropped Fluffy several times with the low kicks. Yeah. And but shout out to Fluffy, man. He could have folded. He didn't fold. He stayed in the fight and gave us one of the best performances of the year for a fight. But yeah, my MVP is Robocop. What about you?
Yeah, man, I tried to find another MVP on the card, but Robocop was it, man. And this puts him in very interesting situations now at the top of the divisions. He took away all of Fluffy's opportunities because Fluffy, before that fight, Fluffy lost to the champ, and there's no shame in losing to the champ. So if he would have came back and rebounded with a win, then we're back at him having big fights again. But him losing to it's a pretty big drop off. But for RoboCop, I mean, he called out DDP like, and it's not even that crazy of a call out anymore. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so,
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's got to be RoboCop, man. That is number one, the MVP of the card. Before we get to your stock up, um, what do you think is next for RoboCop?
Man, so what I think next for him, I really like the call out. I think DDP was like a very good call out. I like that. DDP is available. RoboCop's probably gonna have to, be on the shelf a little bit. We saw him at the press conference, man. Was already in a walking boot, was in a war. But I definitely like the DDP matchup. But if that falls through, I think another option they could do. You know what? I'm gonna stick with the DDP. I like the DDP matchup. What about you?
Yeah. I'm not mad at the DDP matchup. I just feel like DDP won't want to take it since not because he's scared of RoboCop, but just fighting. He already did the whole Usman thing and fighting somebody who he feels isn't necessarily on championship level. So I could see him pushing back on it, but I want to see Gregory Rodrigues against Joe Pyfer. That's the one that I want to see.
That's a
Power
good one.
versus power.
Yeah.
See who it has really transcended to that next level of their game. I think that would be a very interesting fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grimy said DDP RoboCop. I mean, I'm not mad at that at all. If they said that was next, that's great for RoboCop. That's great.
Yeah.
That if I'm DDP, I'm not taking that fight. No, I'm good. All right. So who was your stock up on?
So my stock up, man. This is a guy got a big win. I don't think a lot of people saw him. I think people were expecting him to go in there and get folded, but Jamal Emmers, man, he went in there and stopped Larion Douglas in the first round. I think he might even like broke his orbital in the first round, put him away. And I think he was like a plus like 300, plus 350, somewhere around there. And hey, Jamal Emmers, man, might be a guy we need to pay attention to, but stock up for me, Jamal Emmers. What about you?
Yeah, man. On that, man, I was so wrong about the Larion Douglas. I mean, and maybe it was just, that speed, man. Emmers has speed like Michael Johnson, and it's no matter how old he gets, he just seems to be faster than everybody else. Jamal Emmers is a lot like that. And he just caught him, man. He caught him clean too. But my stock up, man, was Chanel Dyer. I feel like
good.
And it was hard. It was between her and Carly Judice, but I feel like Chanel, man, she's putting together a lot of these finishes. And like I said before, if you finish people in women's divisions, they're going to give you a push, no doubt. And so Chanel Dyer, man, she's putting them, she's stacking wins, and they're looking really good. So I think that she's going to start to get something really important really soon.
Yeah. I like her fight style too. It's very entertaining watching her fight.
Yes, very aggressive. And man, she's got some pop on her punches too.
Bad intentions too.
It's kind of like when you used to see Amanda Nunes hit people. It's like that's different. It just looks different.
Yeah,
and it's the same. It's the same. Who's your stock down on?
So my stock down, for me, is between two people, and you probably gonna take the other person, but for me, it's Roman Dolidze. Like this fight up at light heavyweight against RDR, moving up to light heavyweight. This guy pulls guard in the first round and pretty much just laying on his back, man. And RDR is just beating him up, slicing through his guard. And I'm like, Dolidze, what are you doing, bro? Like, are you even trying to win this fight? Like, what is going on? And RDR just made easy work of him. For me, Roman Dolidze, go back to middleweight and maybe try and do something down there. I don't know.
Yeah. Roman Dolidze was definitely on my list for sure. Like I said, he's just not I think that I've seen him in interviews outside of being in the cage, and he just seems like a really likable person. But when he gets in that cage, man, I don't want to see him. Unfortunately for him. But My stock down, man, was on somebody that I actually picked, and they didn't show me anything that I thought that they were going to do. That's Sergey Spivak.
Mm-hmm.
I pointed out previously that he only seems to lose to championship level fighters. Well, unless Vitor Petrino is a championship level fighter, I feel like that whole streak is done.
Yeah.
I don't think that Vitor is that good um, for the heavyweight division, and Spivak is just. I think this is the beginning of a downward trend, and
Yeah.
Spivak is going to start to turn into Marcin Tabora.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, like between, I think it was in between rounds, right before round 3, like his coach was trying to give him this pep talk, do it for your father, do it for your father. And then he came out and like tried to get a little bit on the gas, and then it just faded. And I was like, bro, what are we doing? Like,
yeah,
you're the
he
polar
don't even
bear,
like
bro.
his
Like,
buddy.
you gotta grapple, man. You can't just be standing at range trying to strike, bro. Like, you gotta get in a clinch, try and get a takedown, something.
Yeah, it was. And when I saw Petrino taking him down, I was like, bruh, you don't even want to be here.
Yep.
You clearly don't, because that's just ridiculous, man. It was ridiculous. I was very, very disappointed in him.
Yeah.
Won't be picking him anymore. All right,
Yeah.
so who do you have next for RDR?
Next for RDR, let's see. For RDR, oh, I got a name. Khalil Roundtree. I think that would make a lot of sense. RDR didn't take any damage in the fight with Roma Delice. Khalil Roundtree just pulled out of a fight not too long ago, so he needs a fight. He's available. I think it makes sense. What about you?
That's a good one. I was less impressed by RDR than I was unimpressed by Roman Delite. So him winning this fight felt like it was just something that he was supposed to do. But I would match him up against somebody that actually lost in Bogdan Guskov. And the reason why is because I feel like Bogdan fighting Ankalaev was, too much too soon.
Yeah.
And he was just trying to capitalize on, uh, the pull out of the fight. And so I think that this is a decent way for him to get back on track. And it's also a decent way for RDR to show that he's improved in his striking, and he's not just a person who does grappling and throws knees.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a little pushback on that.
Mm-hmm.
With Guskov taking the Ankalaev fight on short notice, do you think they do that to him and have him fight RDR?
I mean, I think that they may view that as that's a nice little layup for you. Because if RDR,
Okay.
I think we've seen RDR quit.
True.
So I think that they may be doing him a solid by putting him up against RDR.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But Grimy said RDR against Yuri. Come on, man.
Dang, Grimy just be throwing dudes in the deep end off the rip, bro.
Dang. RDR versus Costa. That's a little bit more feasible, but I don't think so.
I got one for you.
Yeah.
Who you got for Fluffy?
Okay. For Fluffy, follow me on this one. Joaquin Buckley is fighting Mike Malott in Canada. I think that Joaquin Buckley is going to win that fight. If he wins that fight, I think that Anthony Hernandez should go down and fight Joaquin Buckley.
Oh, goes to 170.
Yes. I think that he's reached the plateau of how far he can take middleweight to where he won't be able to bully people the way that he does to win fights. But if he's able to get to 170, and you can look at him and tell that he can get to 170.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If he can get to 170, bruh, he will be a major problem in that division.
And him put him on a dive for a little while.
Yeah, him fighting somebody like Buckley, who's shown that that's a little bit of a hole in his game. I think that would be a nice fight.
Okay.
Who did you have for him?
Well, I still had him at middleweight in my who's next for him, but the guy I'm thinking is CLD Christian Leroy Duncan. CLD's moving his way up the division. Fluffy just lost his second fight in a row, and he got to keep fighting down, defending his spot. It may be a little different depending how the rankings shake out tomorrow to see where everybody is. But as of right now, I like the CLD matchup. I think that'll be a really good step up for CLD. He gets that test against a grappler, wrestler, and and on the flip side, if Fluffy gets that win, he beats a surging contender, and that's a good win for him.
That is very true. That is very true. And it's not a bad fight. And CLD would have to have gone because he fought Robocop previously too, and lost. So him fighting Hernandez, that would be a very interesting turn. But I actually do think that Hernandez, I would favor him in that matchup. I think I would. Yeah. Tyler Betts said he thinks that Mike Malot's going to win.
Do you have high hopes for that fight? Because I don't know if I think that fight's going to be a great. I can see that fight being kind of slow.
I think it's going to be okay. I don't think it'll be too slow. It's not going to be what was it, Markel Maderos against Mason Jones? It ain't gonna be like
nah, it definitely gonna be that, bro. That fight was amazing, dog.
It really was. Also, shout out to Anthony Wynn, man. Went in there and got it done.
Yeah.
Faced a little bit of adversity when it comes to the dude attacking his legs a little bit. And
the Kimura had him in too.
Yeah.
Bro, after the fight, he said, I don't know if it was right after the fight, but I think he said in the interview when Buddy had him in the Kimura, he didn't know what to do. So he was just hanging out and just didn't know what to do.
That's that athleticism and that strength, man. That's what that is. And he was able to power through it. And was it an arm triangle that he got him with? Yeah. So, shout out to that dude. All right. I think we nailed everything on this one. You want to jump into some football?
Let's do it.
Yeah. So we got the SEC that we're gonna talk about. Grimy we had to torture him through the Big Ten, so now he can say something about the SEC. Tyler Betts. All right, so in this one, we're not going to talk about the top four. We're going to talk about really the top seven, I would say. I don't think that we're going to talk about them in a specific order, but the top 7 teams that'll make a difference in the SEC. Talk about their players to watch. We'll talk about storylines, and we'll definitely point out some games that are going to be big on their schedule. So I'm just going to jump right into it, bro.
Perfect.
I'm going right to Alabama.
You waste no time, dog.
I'm going right to Alabama. Let's talk about it right now.
All right, cool. Go ahead, bro. The floor is yours.
All right. So what's interesting about Alabama is no matter what happens in the offseason, the expectations are already there because of the type of program that they are. There's no denying that, whether you like Alabama or not, those expectations are there because of what they've done. And I think one of the major things that they're going to have to overcome, they had a heated quarterback battle heading into the season here, and they landed on the right person, the Duncanville Panther, Keelan Russell, who is definitely my player to watch. I couldn't lie to you and say that it was going to be somebody else. But with that being said, I'm curious how that's going to work. Not to say that he's a bad quarterback, because he's definitely a good quarterback. But I mean, it's still a learning curve. Being the starting quarterback at a program for the first time in your young career. So that's going to be something that they're going to have to overcome. But they got the horses to do it. And the game to watch, man, the big game. One of the biggest games of the entire year is going to be Alabama versus Georgia. Hands down, it's going to be one. It's probably going to have one of the, some of the biggest ratings in the entirety of the year as well. So, but I'll let you do yours, but I have one question, and this is a realistic question. Where do you put them in the title picture? Now, I ain't talking about SEC title. I'm talking about college football championship.
All right, so I'll be realistic. I'll be realistic. Going into this year, man, we got a lot of question marks. A lot of question marks. And if I'm being honest, I think from a talent standpoint, we can play with anybody. But throughout the season, things happen, injuries, like scared, like all of it. I get it. And I think the biggest question mark for Alabama going into this year is going to be the offensive line play. Like to me, it's clear cut offensive line play. The offensive line play was atrocious a year ago. Pretty much all the starters are gone. We only really got one returning guy on the offensive line. Got a lot of additions from the transfer portal. New offensive line coach, and then as you stated previously, Keelan Russell, first year starter. Believe it or not, I'm not really worried about the quarterback play. I think the quarterback play is going to be completely fine. I think Kalen DeBoer has shown that he can coach up first year starting quarterbacks at Alabama. I mean, all you got to do is go back to last year, look at Todd Simpson. He was a first year starter, winning the first round of the NFL draft. So for me, it's going to come down to the offensive line play, and can Alabama run the ball at all? Because Alabama had no run game last year, and you got to have some type of balance to keep opposing defenses honest. So for me, that's what I'm really paying attention to is the offensive line play. I mean, the schedule, all these SEC teams, the schedules are just ridiculous and crazy. I mean, you talk about the Georgia game at home, but you also got to toss in road trips to LSU, to Tennessee, A&M comes to town. So, I mean, the schedule is definitely murderer's row, but, that's just life in the SEC.
True that. That's true. So, what do you think about the title situation?
Title situation, I think depending how, like the offensive line gels, I think Bama's going to be in any game. Whoever lines up against Alabama, Alabama will be able to compete. Yes. I don't care who you are. And honestly, I don't think anybody's going to run through the SEC. I think everybody's going to take an L. I think everybody is going to beat somebody because there's just so much parity in the league.
That's true. All right, so 10 wins, over or under? Actually, I'm gonna say over or under 9 wins.
So I think Grimy might know this. I think our actual win total in Vegas might be like 8.5. I could be wrong. I think that's what the number is. But if it's 8.5, I'll definitely take the over. But 10 with our schedule is a lot. I think. I'm gonna be honest. If we go 9-3, I would be happy because we're in the playoffs. If we go 9-3,
oh, yeah. 9-3 is kind of what I had in my mind.
Yeah,
I Grow Fighting said Arkansas going undefeated.
Hey, if he see it, he see it. Hey. I mean, first year head coach up in Arkansas.
If you like it, I love
maybe.
It. If you like it, I love it. Oh man! All right, so let's get to
who's the next team you want to get into.
I might as well get mine out the way, man. We're going into Texas.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a pivotal year for Texas. Steve Sarkisian. My question going into this year, my biggest question, is how good is Arch really?
Mm-hmm.
Towards the end of the year, now at the beginning of the year, I can understand it. This is going back to Keelan Russell. These are the things that I envisioned seeing for Keelan. Him getting himself together, then by the end of the year, you starting to see who Keelan Russell really is. I figure I see that kind of year for him. And that's what happened with Arch. But he's got to take that and springboard it. And for where they have him projected to go in the NFL draft, award season, how much he's getting paid, like all those things, man, those expectations are on his shoulders. But, he's obviously got the uncles to tell him how to deal with it and the granddad to tell him how to deal with it. So it's just a matter of how good he's going to be. What do you say? Member for 3 months.
Bro, Grammy been waiting for it, dog. Been waiting for it.
He own you. And prayers up for you, man. I grow fighting because you're gonna need to pray for Arkansas to go undefeated. Anyway, but players to watch for me, Hollywood Smothers, man.
Mm-hmm.
When Texas does well, they have a good running game, and
Mm-hmm.
their running game has been up and down these past few years when they've been struggling. So, Hollywood Smothers coming over, him infusing some juice into the running game should help. Um, and then what they have to overcome to me is hiring Will Muschamp. I don't know what that. Why? Why did we do that?
Really? Bro, I got I'm gonna tell you, bro. Y'all gonna be just fine with Will Muschamp on defense.
I worry.
Just fine, brother.
I worry.
Just fine.
Um, we'll see. I hope so. I hope so because Texas. If anything, if the defense or the offense is terrible, the defense is normally pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully that's the case. And if that is the case, man, I'll book it, man. I'll give them 10 wins. I'll give them 10.
Yeah.
They're gonna lose a couple, that's for sure. But I'll give them 10. Um, games to watch, man. For me, besides the obvious, we got the Texas OU game, things like that. But them going to LSU is going to be a tricky game for them, I think. Um, so that's the game that I've got circled amongst others for Texas. But what are your thoughts on Texas?
Man, Texas got a lot. It's very a lot of excitement down there in Austin. I think very talented team. Arch Manning, the way he ended the year last year, hopefully he can springboard that into this upcoming season. He doesn't start it the same way he started last year. The biggest things for me with Texas is going to be offensive line play. Like the run game for Texas last year just was not there as a whole, and I think shoring that up and getting a running game going with Hollywood Smothers, just like you said, and Relique Brown coming over from Arizona State. He was 1,000-yard rusher last year. And another big addition I think is going that you're really going to like. I think Cam Coleman is going to go crazy with Arch Manning and all the weapons. I think Sark is going to find interesting ways to get him to rock. He does really good when he has like a big time guy out wide at receiver. The big time games, like low key, this is one of the toughest schedules in America. I mean, they got Ohio State week 2. They got 8 games versus the top 20. 8 games. And the last 3 of those are on the road. Go to LSU, at A&M. So I mean, hey, it's gonna be a battle. And this is one of those years where, like, if you coming out of SEC, you are going to earn it. Because especially with the SEC going to the 9-game conference schedule, it's gonna be a bloodbath completely.
It is. It really is. Somebody could leave the SEC winning the championship and have three losses and still be the best team in the nation. But yeah, no, I agree on all points. All points. I'll let you go first. Who do you have for what do you got for Ole Miss?
Ole Miss. So, first year head coach Pete Golding, former defense coordinator. They lose Lane Kiffin. So there's not going to be much continuity on offense. We're going to see what they can do without Lane Kiffin there. But they do got some firepower coming back in Trinidad James Chambliss and Keywan Lacey. So I think that 1-2 punch is going to be dynamic for Ole Miss. And I think they're just going to try and outscore everybody. I think it's going to be up-tempo, fast-paced. Like, we're trying to put up 50 on your head. And I think Ole Miss is going to be exciting. But I think their schedule's a little tougher this year than it was last year. They do return 10 starters, which I do like. But, I mean, the schedule is just – it is what it is. They got LSU at home, got Georgia at home, and I mean those are 2 marquee games, and I think those 2 games are like the pivot points of their season.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. For storylines for Ole Miss, for me, it kind of what you said is the defense going to match the level of the offense, and I think we already know the answer to that. It's going to be no, but are they going to be able to score enough points? Like you said, they're going to be extremely exciting. They're going to be like a Boise State type of team where they just flying up and down the field, putting up points, man. Um, he said, "All I need is the teams ranked in order."
Of course he does. Of course he does.
But yeah, Keywan Lacey, Trinidad, James Chambliss, super exciting. I think Trinidad got a path to win the Heisman too.
Absolutely.
He's gonna put up a ton of points and a ton of stats. And one of the things I worry about with them is, are they going to be leaning on their stars too much? And they're going to break down, and we see injuries, and then they just fall off a cliff.
Yeah,
I do worry about that, but I am looking forward to that Georgia versus Ole Miss game.
absolutely.
I am looking forward to that one. That's going to be exciting. All right, LSU. I'm jumping in.
LSU, year one of the Lane Kiffin experience. I think the Bayou Bengals are very excited. I think they love having Lane Kiffin down there. They spent a lot of money in the portal, brought in a lot of guys. And it's, in my opinion, it's the best environment in college football. Like, I don't think there is a better environment than Tiger Stadium. Shout out to the Cajuns down there. I can definitely give them respect. I think a big part of LSU was Lane Kiffin keeping the defense coordinator on staff, Blake Minner, I think his name, something like that.
Yeah,
very good defense coordinator. LSU played like solid defense last year. It's just they couldn't really get going offensively. Lane Kiffin's going to fix that. They bringing in some guys in the transfer portal, bringing in some NFL guys. We probably gonna touch on that. They actually just brought in another NFL dude. I think he's a center from the Saints. They bringing him in as well. So LSU's making some moves. Definitely gonna be a fun team to watch. The big games, obviously, when they go to Ole Miss, I think that's like week 3. They go to Ole Miss. Bama comes to town. That's obviously a big marquee game every time we go down there. But yeah, that's what I got for LSU.
So for LSU, obviously the Lane Kiffin situation is going to be big. Expectations come along with spending all that money and bringing in a big player in the college football game, like Lane Kiffin. But my worry about them is, are those lights going to get to them too much? Like, with LSU, they have a lot of they routinely get stars, but they always seem to be on only one side of the ball. Either they have superstar receivers or they have superstar, corners, safeties, or something like that. But it's never at the same time. And when they do have something like that, close to that, you get Joe Burrow and y'all win a championship. So I do worry about the balance of that and the bright lights and all of that stuff. But one player that stands out to me, and he's been there for a while, is Whit Weeks, the linebacker.
Yep.
I like that dude a lot, man. I
think
yes, absolutely. He's going to play on Sundays, and he's going to be a problem. But
he's dating Lane Kiffin's daughter, too. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, that's one way to get him to stay. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Texas A&M versus LSU game, because I feel like that's a battle of the second tier of the SEC.
I just remember something. They got Texas too. They got your squad too.
Yeah. We gonna see. We gonna see. That's a big one for Texas to win, man. They're gonna need that. They're gonna need it, and eyeballs are gonna be on them for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay. What about Oklahoma?
OU, man. Oklahoma, I think they're kind of like sneaking in under the radar. I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about OU. They got a big matchup week 2. They go to the big house to see Grimy squad, Michigan. I think OU is going to be phenomenal on the defensive side of the football. The head coach, former defensive coordinator, like, they play defense at OU, very physical, good brand of football. John Mateer's back, another year in the system, was off to a really good start, got banged up, had the hand injury, and just wasn't quite the same guy when he came back last year. Another year in the system, I think that's definitely gonna help him. They did a solid job in the portal, brought in a bunch of guys. They were just so thin on offensive line spot last year. And I think what they did in the portal is really gonna combat a lot of that. That's pretty much what I got for OU. I think OU is gonna be in the hunt, but they also got a tough schedule too, as everybody else in the SEC.
Yep, they do. They do. For me, I hope that they don't win the game at all, honestly. But but being realistic, man, I think they have the opportunity to go from good to great. Like, I think that the coaching is what kept them in games last year. And this year, I think that, with John Mateer being back healthy, and boy, he didn't put on some weight, man. Like, he's big now. I think that that's going to boost them, and hopefully for them, bring along the rest of the team. The player that stood out to me was Isaiah Satan III, the wide receiver.
He's explosive too.
Very explosive. They have a knack for getting explosive receivers down there. So he definitely stood out to me. And I mean, the game that I had marked down was the same one, man. I think them going to Michigan, if they're able to go to Michigan, while Michigan still, has that shine on them early in the season, and get a win in the Big House, that's going to really boost things for them. But on the flip side, if Michigan gets a win, that's going to be a feather in that cap too. So it's a huge game.
Big game.
Early in the schedule too.
Yep.
That's what stood out to me. But John Mateer, man, everything, as most teams, but everything hinges on him and his development and his health. You know what John Mateer kind of reminds me of? He kind of reminds me of, and not just because he, they both went to the same school, but he reminds me of Baker Mayfield. The way that they play,
I can see that.
Abandon, like, it reminds me of that a little bit. All right, here, to me, definitely a championship contender. What do you think about Georgia?
So for me, Georgia, very veteran team. They bring in a lot of production from last year. They returned 14 starters. Quarterback Gunnar Stockton's back. Really good running back. Frazier is his name, I think. He's back. My issue with Georgia basically is just on offense. Can they get some explosive plays? Like, they have to matriculate the ball down the field so much. And a lot of times they eat up a lot of clock and won't get points, and a drive will stall out. I think defensively, they're going to be their usual deal. Kirby's always going to have them playing elite defense. They're going to be very physical up front. No doubt in my mind about that. Tough schedule for Georgia, though. I mean, they go on the road to Alabama, to Ole Miss, got A&M, got LSU. Got the cocktail party against Florida. So, I mean, the Georgia schedule is nothing to sneeze at this year. But I do like them because they are more of a veteran team. But I think for them, the key thing for them is going to be, can they find some explosive plays on offense?
Man, it's so funny that that is exactly what I said, or I wrote down, is the explosive plays on offense. Because on defense, man, they got it. They got it on defense, man. It's just, if you're taking all day to get down the field on offense and then you don't even score, you get down there, you miss a field goal, like, what are we doing? So yeah, that definitely stood out for me. My key player or player to watch is on defense. It's KJ Bolden, free safety.
Yeah, safety. Yeah, he's good.
He's real good. And one of the games that stood out is one of the ones you mentioned, Georgia versus Alabama. Another, just, and I mentioned it earlier. I just think it's one of the biggest games of the year, for sure. What's good, Jay Beers?
Jay Beers, good to see you, brother.
Yeah, huge game. All right, here's the last one, man. Texas A&M.
Texas A&M, the Aggies, they coming off that, riding high, had a great year last year. I think a little bit of that was fool's gold. I think they benefited from having a little bit of a softer schedule last year. This year we go to the 9 games in SEC play. I will say this though. I like the head coach at A&M. I think the brand of football that he wants to play is what works in the SEC. They're gonna be physical. They're gonna play defense. I think for them, the key player for them, it's all gonna come down to Marcel Reed. Can he take that next step offensively? Losing his offensive coordinator, which isn't gonna be good, so they got a new offensive coordinator coming in. The schedule for A&M, I mean, they go to LSU, got Texas at home, go to Alabama. So I mean, it's gonna be if they can make it to the playoffs this year, they 100% gonna earn it this year because they got a big boy schedule this year.
Yeah, no, I agree. And actually, what I wrote down for Texas A&M is imposter syndrome. I definitely felt like they were last year. They were the New England Patriots of college football. Soft schedule. And when they ran into somebody who was for real, things fell apart. They just happened to run into theirs earlier than the Patriots did. But I agree. Marcel Reed is definitely what this is going to come down to. And one thing that really happened to him in the bigger games is turnovers, man.
Yep.
They just start turning the ball over like crazy. Big moments. The beginning of a half. All of these weird times to be turning it over that pivoted the game against them. So yeah, I don't have high hopes for Texas A&M. I don't think that they are anywhere as good as what their record indicated last year, and they, like you said, they're gonna have to prove it this year, and I don't think they can.
They're gonna have to earn it.
I really don't. Jay Beer said that you're making your way to the Big 12. We're gonna talk.
I like the Big 12. I think the Big 12 is the most fun conference because everybody can beat everybody in the conference. Like the worst team can beat the best team in the Big. Well, this might be a little different with Texas Tech, but don't worry. We gonna drop a little something for the Big 12. Don't y'all worry.
Mahomes Tech, yes. Before we get out of this college thing, man, you sent something over to me, and I mean we've been seeing it all over the place, but a dude left the NFL and he took his talents to college football. So, what do you know about this particular story?
So I saw the former Ole Miss tight end. I think he was with the Browns, and now he's going back to college, making his way to LSU. And then just today, LSU just got another guy coming back from the NFL, offensive lineman. I don't like it from the fan perspective and enjoying the game. I don't like it. However, a part of me on the player side of it, like, this dude wants to play this game and continue his career, and the opportunity is there for him to do this. I mean, who wouldn't do it? Like, you get put on waivers in the NFL, get cut off a team, and now you get an opportunity to go back to college and maybe like have a good year, get drafted again, and now you're in a better situation in the NFL. So from that standpoint, I get it. And Grimy, I'm out of eligibility, brother. I'm out of eligibility.
So if he goes back to college, well, he is going to go back to college. Will he have to enter the supplemental draft, or will it be the regular draft?
That's gonna be weird because I mean we've never dealt with this before. We've never experienced this, so I don't know. I think that's gonna be something the NFL and the NFLPA is gonna have to figure out. Because I mean, if you think about it, he's gonna be available when everybody else is available for the regular draft.
That's true. So how do you like this as opposed to, in the NBA, you get an agent, you're in the draft, you ain't coming back, you can't go back. But at the same time, in the NBA, if you go and play overseas like LaMelo did, like Emmanuel Mudiay did, that's professional. You can do that and then come and play in the NBA and be drafted. Like, How do you see that, or how do you like that?
So the NCAA had to deal with this last year with college basketball. I know Alabama had a guy, he had to go to court like the whole season on like if he could play or if he could not play. It was like a 7-footer. He played in like I think some D League games, and then he ended up coming back to Bama and playing. So this has been like brewing for a little bit. It's just it kind of started with basketball and then it kind of went away. And now we're starting to see it with football. But the NCAA gonna have to figure this out. And I will say this real short, real sweet. Somebody did warn about this, and is the guy that for whatever reason he's like the Yoda of college football. He's always ahead of everything. Nick Saban. Nick Saban talked about did we want college football to become this, and he wanted us to get in front of it. None of it listened, and here we are.
You know what, man? I'm glad you brought up Nick Saban. I actually have two questions for you. One about Nick Saban and one about yourself. So Nick Saban, he one of the greatest, if not the greatest, college football coaches or just coaches in general of all time. But when NIL came, he left. Do you? And maybe you can't say this because this is a politically correct situation, but do you think that he left because he felt that the the landscape was going to be tilted away from the power that he had?
Okay, I will flip this on its head because I know where you're going with this. Let's say you're a high school recruit. Nick Saban comes, sits in your living room, and he pulls out all of the money that all of the players that have come to Alabama and played for him have made in the NFL. Are you now all of a sudden like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. You've had this long track record of winning championships, developing guys, putting them in the NFL. Bro, nothing would have changed. Nothing, guys. Like Nick Saban still would have been able to recruit guys. I can assure you that would not have changed. Would have been a little harder? Absolutely. Would we have been as deep as we were at times? Probably not. But you really think the top recruits in America aren't going to want to go coach for the greatest coach to ever do it? Come on now.
I mean, I think I I agree with half of it. I think that he still would have been. It wasn't nothing going to stop him from being a great coach. Um, but I do think it would have been harder, like you said.
For sure. Definitely would have been harder.
And I do think that it would have taken away a couple of those championships.
Fair, but he already got 6.
I mean, if you only had 4, that's still pretty dang good.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's kind of how I think. Okay, so the second question I have. So you played baseball professionally.
Mm-hmm.
You played for Alabama
Mm-hmm.
in that order.
Yep.
So for you as a person who did play professionally first,
Mm-hmm.
and then you played college,
Yep.
so there's a path for this to actually happen. It just has to happen in 2 different sports.
Correct. So the way it was in the past, if you go play a sport professionally and you never enroll in college full time, you have all of your eligibility. Your eligibility clock only starts when you enroll full time in college. However, you cannot play the same sport in college that you played professionally. That's how it used to be.
Mhm. So I'm curious, and this is outside of the things that we talk about. I'm curious how this is going to work in track, because there's a lot of athletes in track
Mm-hmm.
who, when it gets close to the Olympic year, which what was his last name? Quincy, I can't remember his last name, but he was a high schooler, and he ended up going and running for the um, Olympic squad, and won a medal on the 4x4, and but he's not able to go to college.
Yeah. So with the Olympic sports, it's a little different. I'm not really sure because it's very few of the track and field athletes that can actually like go professionally and like make money and like live on it and all that. So it might be a little different with track and field. So I don't want to be on here like saying something that is totally inaccurate. Because I can only give my experience with football and baseball. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. Like right now in the NCAA, man, it's the Wild Wild West, and you can basically do whatever you want.
True. Hey, shout out to Jay Beers, man. Thank you for the 5
With the super chat, man. Shout out to you, Jay Beers.
Appreciate it. He said, so excited we so close to football. You and me both.
Absolutely, brother. Oh yeah, and there will be a UFC watch along and a college football watch along this Saturday. So be on the lookout. I'm going to be covering the TCU North Carolina football game this Saturday.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, you want to talk about UFC Shanghai real quick?
Absolutely. Let's get into it.
All right. So UFC Shanghai this weekend, early start. Which is I think they did this on purpose to make sure that you were going to be able to stream both.
Yeah, they heard I had college football start, man. They knew what time it was.
They're like, man, let's move the card back. It's John Jones' thing. We got to adjust the card. So do you have a sleeper fight on the card?
Well, I got a sleeper fight, and it's the fight I don't think will go to the scorecards, but it's Aruchi Lane versus Kai Asakura. Like Kai Asakura, man, this dude got big time power. I think he's got like a 70% finish rate, 77% finish rate. Aruchi Lane's a striker and isn't afraid to get in a firefight. So I think that fight is my sleeper, and it's going to be my fight that does not go to the scorecards. What you got?
My sleeper fight on the card is Alex Perez against Umar Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, it's a good one too.
I think that's going to be, as you say, a striker's delight. It's going to be a really good fight. I think Alex Perez has always been underrated, and Umar Nurmagomedov, it's hard to find a fight that he's not in that's exciting. As far as my one that won't make it to the judges, bruh, Bilal Hassan against Nelson Rojas. I actually think that Rojas is pretty solid. I mean, people don't know who that is, but I do think that he's pretty solid. But Bilal Hassan, bruh, that dude is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to both of those, but I don't think that fight is going to make it to the judges at all.
Yeah.
Grimy City Fauci.
Bro, it ain't, trust me, it is not hard. It is not hard, Grimy. I can assure you, it is not hard.
Shout out to Sean Moody, man. Somebody was asking about you in the Discord. They're asking if you were in there. Who was it? It was Matua. He's asking if you were in the Discord. So it sounds like you need to get in the Discord. One more thing before we get out of here, and we'll dig into this more next week. I want to talk about NFL just for a second. Today, the Cleveland Browns announced that Deshaun Watson's going to be their starting quarterback, which on its face, whatever. It's Cleveland Browns. Nobody cares. But did you see the press conference that he had afterward, or before, I think it was on Sunday, the press conference?
I haven't seen the press conference, but I did see something like he had to come out and apologize about it. Apparently, I haven't seen it, but I did see the alert that he had to like apologize about something he said. Go ahead and fill us in,
bro. So during the game, and really, probably for the majority of the time that he's been there, he gets booed by the home fans for obvious reasons, and he actually said something about it this time. Obviously, he had a terrible preseason game. He went 5 of 12 with an interception for like 50-something yards. It was bad. And so, yeah, they were booing him for not just for the play, but for, the personal things. And he came out and said, that, he felt like he was going to be playing 17 road games. And he gave no love to the fans at all whatsoever. And sure enough, the next day they announced him as the starter and quarterback of the team. Dude, this to me, this signified why the Browns will always be bad.
Yeah.
They can't read the room. They make poor decisions, and I understand. And you mentioned this a long time ago, that they're going to side with the money. They're paying him money. They need to
Absolutely.
get the money out of it.
Absolutely.
I get it. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, dude, the optics are so bad. And you need people to come and actually pay to go to the games. And if they're not going because they don't like this dude, that's not going to go well either.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, there is no coming back from that. When him saying that about the fans, he won't ever come back from that in Cleveland. It does not matter how well he plays. He probably is going to get booed for the rest of the time he's in Cleveland. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes.
So the way that the season starts for them is they have 2 road games. And I think what's going to happen is Cleveland goes and they lose both of those road games. And then week 3, it's the triumphant return of Shedeur Sanders as a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen, man, because,
Yeah.
man, that's a bad situation. But I would hate to be a Browns fan. I really would. But, okay, so before we get out of here, man, I apologize to y'all. I would have had the Big Ten video out already, but it was my anniversary last weekend. So, mirror on the ceiling situation, all that. But
happy anniversary. Tell wifey I said happy anniversary.
I will. But I'll have that video out tomorrow, as well as the SEC video that we just did, for anybody that wants to share it out to people who didn't get to see the live stream today. But next week we will be digging into the NFL. So yeah, y'all come in, make sure y'all bring some people with you. We're going to talk about the whole thing, man, including the 10+ win Cowboys.
It's y'all's year. It's always y'all's year.
Well, it's not. It hasn't been our year for 30 years. But
hey, that video I sent you was wild, right?
Diabolical, man. That woman is terrible. He should divorce her immediately. Oh man. But
hey, but chat, be on the lookout. I got some stuff going on this week. So tomorrow we got Dana White's Contender Series watch along. Make sure you pull up for that. I want to say Road to the UFC is this week. I think that might be Friday morning. So on your way to work, jump in the chat, like the stream. It's going to be like super early in the morning. Then we got UFC Shanghai on Saturday. And then we got college football Saturday, probably like a couple hours after the UFC card concludes.
Bro, how you gonna eat food? When are you gonna eat?
Bro, I'll figure it out. I got like a little gap in between the UFC and the football. I got a little gap in there.
I don't know how you doing it, bro. I really don't. Yeah,
bro,
make sure y'all pull up.
Absolutely. Pull up.
This man over here starving himself so he can give y'all.
Hey, just like in the Discord, bro. I'm built different, dog.
Man, you ain't lying, bro. You ain't lying. All right, y'all, man. Until next time, we will catch y'all boys later.
Peace.
Thanks for watching Crosswalk. Come back next Monday to chop it up.
So please, whatever.